What's up, HDMM? I'm Jamie with someofthisandthat.com, and it is summertime, which means if you are gardening, it is time to start picking some of those yummy fruits and veggies out of your garden. So I'm going to show you today some ways to preserve all of that food. There are a ton of different ways, but I'm going to go over the four basics. We are going to go over freezing, we're going to go over canning, as well as dehydrating, and we're also going to go over freeze drying. So let's get started. The first one we're going to go over, of course, is freezing. It is the easiest and it is the cheapest way to preserve your fruits and veggies. You just want to make sure that when you are freezing them, they have been pre-washed and you put them in a freezer-safe bag or container. And you can even go the extra step to vacuum seal it to make sure you get all of the air out to prevent freezer burning. The downside to freezing is your fruits and veggies can only last 6 months to a year without really starting to degrade. And once you defrost them, they really lose their texture and some of their flavor as well. I mean, strawberries that have been frozen are kind of mushy and they're great for like desserts, but I don't think I'd really want to eat them without processing in some way. Another traditional way of preserving your food is through canning. It is a very popular way to preserve your fruits and veggies from your garden. There is some equipment that is needed, but it is fairly inexpensive and it is easy to do. That is a really good pro for if you are starting out. Canning is easy if you follow the right steps and know what you need. For some fruits and veggies in jams, you'll only need a basic water bath canner, which is just a large pot that can come with a tray at the bottom of it. But some fruits and veggies will require you to pressure can it just to make sure that it is safe for you to store away. Now, just like when you freeze food, the texture of canned fruits and vegetables is definitely not the same as it is when it is fresh. But it is an easy way and it preserves the food a lot longer than when you would freeze it traditionally, as long as you store it properly. Another way that you can preserve some of your garden goodies from your garden is to dehydrate some of them. Now, with dehydrating, you will need a dehydrator, of course, and they range anywhere from $20 to $30 up into the hundreds of dollars. And in my opinion, you always get what you pay for with a dehydrator. I've had many of them over the years. But if you're going to go the dehydration route, just know that when you do dehydrate food, you will never get that texture back. And it does lose some of its nutrients because dehydrators use heat to draw out the moisture of your food, so it tends to get tough and chewy, and that's why a lot of people use dehydrators to make things like beef jerky. It is perfect for making beef jerky. If you want your fruits and veggies to retain some of their texture and some of their flavor, dehydrating may not be the way to go. Lastly, the last method is freeze drying. Now, everybody doesn't have the ability to go out and buy a freeze dryer. They just recently came on the market for home use within the last few years, so they are kind of expensive still. But if you are really into gardening and really into preserving that freshness in your food, a freeze dryer may be something you want to look into. The downside is that they are very expensive and they can be very loud. I keep mine out in the garage just because of how loud it is. But when you freeze dry food, it uses cold to freeze the food as cold as it possibly gets. I mean, this thing gets super cold and then it slowly defrosts it, and as it defrosts, it pulls the moisture out of the food. So what you're left with is the food that basically you pulled from the garden without any moisture. It retains all of its nutritional value, and when you add water back into it, it actually comes back to its original texture, which is great. But again, like I said, it's not for everybody. It is expensive, but it is an option for in-home use now. So that is what I have got for you guys today. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Now, I just wanted to quickly go over these different ways to preserve your food. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. And if you want to see a video that details more in-depth information about one of these different ways to preserve your food, let me know down in the comments below as well. And if you haven't already subscribed to the HDMM channel, be sure to do so now. And if you like DIY and food videos with a nerdy twist, be sure to check out my channel, Some of This and That. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!